Okay, folks, we've got to talk about Madame Mullen. She exploded today, and she's seen a lot of dirty momentum into the after hours, hitting a new cycle high at 56 cents. Now, as you know, last week we presented on her the entire rundown on the setup, and I gave the good, the bad, and the ugly. I said, hey, there's some big catalysts, a lot of reasons for speculators to like her, and a solid technical setup for momentum, but also a lot of reasons not to like her and a lot of risk factors. Substantial dilution over the past year, crazy leadership options, more share dilution approved that can drop at any point, the fact that they are financing acquisition after acquisition with insane shareholder dilution, which is not something that I've seen before to this extent. I mean, it's pretty crazy. They just keep acquiring more and more companies and more interests in companies based on the amount of capital they're able to raise from diluting shareholders. But at the same time, I mean, this thing can really run. Today we had yet another catalyst for the stock drop, and she showed a new round of proof of concept and made a new breakout. And so I want to violently break down what you need to know and my forecast on the setup moving into the end of this week. I think that you might see some more mouth-watering moves before this week is over. If you appreciate videos like these where we break down trade ideas and not just the macro environment, make sure to hit that ravishing like button and also subscribe. And of course, I want to go ahead and preface this video by saying that small cap runners are some of the most volatile, insane stocks in the market, which make them a lot of fun, but also very dangerous. So heed that warning and proceed at your own risk. But first, a word from today's sponsor, Moomoo, and the up to 15 free stocks that you can get if you open an account and deposit with my link down below. Australian users can get up to 50 AUD cash back. Terms and conditions apply. So let me ask you this question. Would you show up to battle without the proper weapons? I wouldn't. No matter how good of a warrior you are, you need the proper gear to thrive and survive. Moomoo is exactly that, a fierce trading platform for active traders just like yourselves. Moomoo is a one-stop trading app that features a comprehensive stock screener, free real-time level 2 data, daily short volume, and allows you to unlock 24/7 premium news for free. The Moomoo app provides visualized financial information to help you understand and evaluate individual stocks, visualized holdings and portfolios from institutional funds to help you develop investing strategies. And as we are in a very critical earnings season, one feature that I would like to highlight today is the earnings calendar. You can scroll through and see which stocks are reporting earnings in the coming week, and more importantly, get a rapid to the point rundown on what they've reported. For example, here I can see GME is focused on becoming profitable and launching new proprietary products. I can see NIO's vehicle margin decreased attributed to increased battery cost per unit. I can see Grab reported strong top line growth underpinned by a rebound in their mobility segment and continued growth in deliveries. And then I can expand and see more crucial information. It's tools like these that can help you take your trading to the next level and drown out all of the noise. And to give them a shot, they are again offering you up to 15 free stocks available only with our link down below. Anyways, thank you again, Moomoo, for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the content. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the full context, Mr. Contexto. So on October 19th, we first briefed on it in the pre-market at about 23 cents a share as a squeeze candidate, and because it purchased the assets of Electric Last Mile Solutions, bringing a lot of attention to the stock, it then showed proof of concepto by breaking above our red directional SMA line, which then prompted the video we did later on in that day. And since she's broken into an upward direction, she's had a period of substantial profit taking and then testing and then a new round of proof of concept and managed to hold that overall upward direction, and then today bounced up and created a new cycle high. She got a new cycle high again while I was filming this video in the after hours. So what's going on here? Well, aside from the momentum she was already building and the positive direction, there's this new catalyst that came out today. Mullen officially secured the rights to distribute the iGo urban delivery electric vehicle in key markets. Because European city streets are very small, little cars like these are apparently used a lot and are in high demand for last mile deliveries, ones that can kind of move around and get through the tiny little old crevice streets in Europe. And look, I mean, this dude looks pretty happy. Would he be that happy if it wasn't a true thesis? I mean, look, wait, I know how I can make this a little bit more scrumptious. Oof, how'd they get such a good-looking model? Wow. Mullen, bullish. But from Investor Place, quote, shares of Mullen Automotive are accelerating higher after the company announced that it had secured exclusive sales, distribution, and branding rights for the iGo, an urban delivery electric vehicle. The company vehicle has already been homologated, aka approved, for the EU. Plus, it has been certified for sale in places like the UK, Germany, Spain, France, and Ireland. So one of the goals that Mullen has talked about is building a fleet of ready-to-market delivery vehicles, and this seems to be a leap forward to that goal. The company is going to be delivering its first deliveries of this iGo in December, and it is worth mentioning that while this will help Mullen get to key markets faster than otherwise expected, these vehicles aren't proprietary. In fact, Investor Place pointed out that you can find these same vehicles for sale on Chinese websites. It's just that it seems like they are going to sell them in Europe for a markup of about 10 to 20%, which, I mean, hey, that is one way to get your brands established in different markets, and then maybe later you can sell them other products. Just trying to play both sides here because I don't love the fundamentals of this, but I do see the hype potential, and they now have the exclusive rights to sell it in these markets, so that is also something. For a spec trade to be alive and well, you need to constantly have new headlines showing that you're up and moving, and that's exactly what Mullen has been able to accomplish. Fundamentally, I'm not a fan of the stock, but I have to admit, as a trade, right now, it's showing a lot of momentum. They've consistently been able to hold relevancy week over week, which is pretty impressive in a terrible market condition like the one that we're in. Now let's go over to Ortex. Now shorts piled on today with live short interest pushing at about 24%, but look at this hither, the borrowed change and borrowed shares. The blue line is from Friday and the greenish one is the one from today. Look at the huge uptick in borrows. Oof. That is enough to make someone's mouth water if you think this is going to continue going up. What does this mean? Well, when shorts are preparing to dump a bunch of shares, first they have to go and find those shares, locate the borrows, and then afterwards they can go and dump them. Now, the biggest short selling pressure and the short selling playbook is to start selling massively and dumping shares when the stock price is already weakening. So that means that once this momentum has its first large cool off, maybe tomorrow morning, boom, you're going to get all those borrowed shares dumping onto the market, trying to bring this down as fast as possible. If it finds a dip and support, though, boom, you get another squeeze rally and a new cycle high, which is what makes this so juicy, because these short sellers all of a sudden are going to get massively punched in the face if there are enough dip buyers once this does bottom out. Let's move over to the options chain. Not a lot crazy going on here at this point, but if you look at the next 4 expiration dates, there's significant concentration at that 50-cent strike price for each expiration date, which is about where we close today. Generally speaking, call option demand on small caps tend to congregate lower because small caps very, very rarely hold on to new cycle highs. But hey, these are showing at the very least that they believe that Mullen will hold on to these cycle highs at around 50 cents for the next 4 weeks. And so at the very least, options players are thinking that Mullen is going to be a very active battleground for the foreseeable future. And if it remains above 50 cents while shorts are fighting and there are new catalysts, this could get pretty gory pretty quickly. Okay, technicals and overall prediction. So my motto when it comes to both life and the stock market is it's not about how you rise, but how you fall. And when you're looking at a setup, pay attention to how it falls during its take profit periods. For example, this fall hither that held overall upward direction set it up for the next momentum wave. This fall and recovery into the after hours built extra confidence on top of it. It screams very loudly that, hey, this can sell off, but there are still people willing to buy the dip, which adds to overall confidence and makes people believe in the overall momentum and believe it's still alive and well. And so because of how this finished, I'd guess that Mullen probably has another pre-market pump. Maybe it holds into the early market open, but then at some point, probably mid-session or at least by mid-session, you're going to have a period that looks like this one that we just had, a new test. And at that point, the new borrows are going to try to dump heavily. And that's when you want to reanalyze and see if it can hold a higher bottom. 46 cents was a previous support here and a previous resistance here. So that's probably the first relevant holding point and probably the strongest standpoint that it could sell off and hold to. The second is probably the mid to high 30s. Watch to see if it can show that proof of concept and bounce off that. And then don't be surprised if we get a new breakout to a new cycle high once it does. Remember, Mullen does have an analyst-heavy event this week, and that is something that people are going to be anticipating and is really a reason that it's even worth making a video about, because there are new things that people can get excited about and thus provide more trading opportunities. And I do want to conclude this video by reminding you that you need to have a clear plan, risk management, and an understanding that you will get punched in the face if you don't have those things. I also want to remind you that we do not have a position in Mullen, nor were we paid by any sort of promoting agency to talk about Mullen, just so you know that my thoughts on the stock are my true thoughts. My true thoughts are it's a terrible company fundamentally. I don't like the leadership, but it is running, and I do like things that run. You just got to be very, very careful. Anyways, that caps off the video. Make sure to get your up to 15 free stocks with Moomoo. If you want to join us in ZipTrader U, I will put a link to ZipTrader U below. Hit that ravishing like button and also subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow.